Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at some really fun battles in the Open Ultra League featuring Double Nuke GOODRA. GOODRA is a pure dragon type Pokemon that typically runs Muddy Water as a bait move. Today, however, we are going Double Nuke, running Power Whip and Draco Meteor to hopefully deal a lot of damage and to surprise our opponents along the way. I paired it up with an Escav on the lead and a Kingdra on the safe switch, and honestly, had some really good sets. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and check out Double Nuke GOODRA in action in the Ultra League. Hopping to the first match, picking up a slightly negative lead, Escavalier into Shadow Machamp. Shadow Machamp does dramatically outpace Escav in this matchup, which is a little unfortunate. I will shield up the cross chop and then fire back with the Drill Run. I am definitely expecting a shield here. Shadow Machamp definitely not the tankiest Pokemon. They are going to outpace me, so I am going to switch and catch the second cross chop onto Kingdra. Kingdra is going to be able to easily tank this, no problem. Then my opponent is going to respond with a Shadow Wall Rain. Shadow Wall Rain is going to outpace me and be able to reach an Icicle Spear, but this will not take out Kingdra. Kingdra able to hold on and able to reach the Outrage, and this will be grabbing the final shield or taking out the Wall Rain, and Wall Rain does commit the final shield. Wall Rain leaves with energy, but not enough for an Earthquake, so I do not have to shield this. Icicle Spear is going to be resisted. Escav very low, but still able to reach a Drill Run. This will be taking out the Wall Rain, and then it's all up to GOODRA in the end game. In comes GOODRA, and they have Talonflame. At this point, so long as I shield a Brave Bird, I should be in a pretty good spot here. I shield, it is the Brave Bird, and back in comes Shadow Machamp. Shadow Machamp is going to be able to reach a cross chop, but GOODRA is going to be able to tank this. GOODRA takes the cross chop, farms down the Machamp, and bring back the Talonflame. Back in comes the Talonflame. GOODRA going for the Draco Meteor, taking down the Talonflame, and that is a good game. Picking up a fairly neutral lead in the next match, Escav into Scrafty. I will stay in this lead to start, try and force a shield, and then I'm going to be safe switching into Kingdra. They go straight for the power-up punch. I can very easily tank it. I farm up to the Mega Horn, but I'm going to bait with the Drill Run, hoping that I can try and get a shield. I do, and then I'm going to safe switch into Kingdra. No matter what they throw, I can tank it, so I'm more than willing to let this go. They go for a second power-up punch, and then they bring in Charm Alolan Ninetales. So a very good thing I switched and was able to bait out the A9, so that way, hopefully GOODRA will be able to close in the end game. I go for a last-second Octazooka, and I do get the attack drop. That is absolutely massive. Now I can very easily tank the Weather Ball and the following charms, so I'm going to be able to reach the Drill Run. I do overfarm slightly, and I'm going for the Drill Run. This, of course, will be taking out the Alolan Ninetales, and now GOODRA with shield advantage is in a very good spot. Scrafty staying in. They might be weak in the back to GOODRA. I am going to commit the shield in case it's a foul play. It is, and it is Empoleon in the back. This is a really nice moment to have Power Whip on GOODRA, as Power Whip is going to do quite a bit of damage, but the scary thing is that Empoleon is going to be able to do some pretty significant damage in return with Drill Peck. I am going to shield up, and then the game lags. Please not now. We unfreeze, and I think they got 3 waterfalls through, so I'm going to operate as if they did, so we count 4, 5, and we're able to catch the Drill Peck onto Escav. And now we're in a good position to close out the match. Back in comes GOODRA. They try and go for the catch. They fail the catch, and now it is Draco Meteor time. I am so sorry, Empoleon. GOODRA taking him out, and that is a good game. Picking up a nightmare lead in the next match, Escavalier into Cofagrigus. I will immediately save switch into Kingdra, and my opponent will respond with Scrafty. This is a pretty neutral matchup across the board, so hopefully I can either get shield advantage or switch advantage. They go for the foul play. I tank that no problem. I'm going to farm up and go for Outrage on what I'm hoping is a CMP tied to a power-up punch. Outrage does get the shield. They hold on to their energy, and they're able to farm down, and that is really not good because this Scrafty is absolutely loaded on energy. They go for the foul play. I do tank one, but they're going to be able to reach a second, and even though I really don't want to, I'm going to have to commit a shield here. I will leave with a Drill Run, but that's not going to be doing a whole lot of damage to Cofagrigus, so I will look to immediately switch out. Coffin farms up a bunch and then brings in Nidoqueen, and Nidoqueen is going to be going straight for the Poison Fang. I will tank the Poison Fang, and then I'm going to overfarm quite a bit, and you know what? Sometimes to win, you have to full send it. So we are going straight for the Draco Meteor. Do they respect it? They do not, and down goes Nidoqueen. GOODRA, not done, able to reach a Power Whip, and this is going to do some nice chip damage and actually gets the final shield, and then Cofagrigus throws. I'm going to let this through. We are going to trust in Escav. If Escav can reach 2 drill runs, we should be in a pretty okay spot. I don't think this is quite Mega Horn range, so I think the best play is probably just to go for double drill run, and we are 1 short of the back-to-back. The question is, are they out of move? Drill run gets them low. We get to number 2. Drill run is going to be taking care of the Cofagrigus. Despite the terrible lead, we are able to battle back, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, suiting Escavalier into Kommo-o. This is a very nice lead for Escav, so I am more than happy to stay in. Even if they close combat here, that's not going to be enough to KO. They go for Dragon Claw bait, and I'm going to fire back with the Drill Run. Drill Run will do quite a bit of damage if it lands, which it does, and they're only able to reach a second Dragon Claw. This will not KO. I'm going to bank the move and then snipe with Kingdra. Hopefully this way we can bait out to see if they have a good response to a dragon type, and they do. It is Registeel. I am going to be going for the Octazooka as soon as I get it. Octazooka doesn't do a lot of damage, but if I can get the attack debuff, that 50% chance, then that's really going to help in this matchup. They go for the Zap Cannon, and that honestly doesn't do nearly as much damage as it would previously. You know what? Can we go 2 for 2 on debuffs? Kingdra going for a second Octazooka. Yes, we can! And now they are 4 stages debuffed. This is fantastic. They go for another Zap Cannon. That is not enough to KO, and I'm going to try and build up and go for a third Octazooka. Unfortunately, I can't debuff them any more than I currently can, and they decide to throw their energy. Honestly, this is perfect. I'm just going to let it go down and then farm down with Escav, but I'm not able to, and they have Talonflame in the back. This could be a little scary. I decide to call the bait, and I get hit with the Brave Bird. That does big damage onto GOODRA, but GOODRA is able to hang on, and these Dragon Breaths are now tearing through Talonflame due to that lower defense. Talonflame is able to reach a move, but I believe GOODRA should be able to farm down here. They go for the Flame Charge, we commit the shield, and we're able to farm down. Back in comes Registeel, opponent sees the writing on the wall, and concedes the match. Hopping into the next match, picking up a Nightmare lead, Escav into Jellicent, so I need to immediately safe switch into Kingdra. Jellicent staying in and going for a move. This could be a Shadow Ball, I call it, and it's just a Bubble Beam, and then they bring in Scrafty. This matchup is typically pretty nice for Kingdra, but with that attack drop, it is going to make it quite a bit more difficult. Scrafty fires off the power-up punch, and I'm going to go for the Octazooka. Octazooka goes no-shielded, but we get that ever-important attack drop. Scrafty is just going straight power-up punch in this matchup, and with that second power-up punch, they are able to reset that attack drop. I am going for the Outrage, hoping that even with the debuff it'll KO, but it doesn't. Kingdra not able to farm down, and unfortunately, we are going to lose switch. I will be able to bring in GOODRA here, as GOODRA is going to be able to get an energy lead, and we'll have to see what my opponent has in the back, and it is Nidoqueen. We have already Draco Meteored 1 Nidoqueen. Can we potentially make it 2? They go for the Poison Fang. We are going to tank that. GOODRA farming up and going straight for the Draco Meteor. Moment of truth. Can we land it? Yes, we can! Taking down the Nidoqueen. Back in comes the Jellicent. We try and catch onto Escav. We're not able to, but they will eventually throw their energy. Shadow Ball will do quite a bit of damage. And I am going to be going for the Drill Run, but I do get outpaced. That is really unfortunate. They go for the Bubble Beam, and I'm going to fire back with the second Drill Run. This is debuffed and is non-stab. They actually decide to let it through, and suddenly, I'm thinking I may have a win con. If I'm able to Dragon Breath down here, I may have a chance, but the scary thing is this Jellicent is loaded on energy, so they're going to be able to throw Bubble Beam after Bubble Beam. I decide to call it. It is just a Bubble Beam, And now I try and commit to the farm down. It's unlikely I'm going to be able to reach 2 power whips here, and they are spamming out these bubble beams, making my dragon breaths do less and less damage. This is going to be extremely close. They go for bubble beam number 3, trying to farm down. Can we get there? We cannot. We had just gotten to the 2 power whips. They get to a last second bubble beam, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Escab into Shadow Drapion. Pretty nice lead, and my opponent is going to save switch into Shadow Nidoqueen. Honestly, this is still a great matchup for Escab, so I am more than willing to stay in. Drill Run is able to grab the shield, and this is enough for an Earth Power. This is a tough call to make. I shield last second, and I do get baited. Thankfully, Escab is still going to be able to outpace Nidoqueen, and I'm able to get to Drill Run number 2. Drill Run is able to take down the Nidoqueen. Back in comes Drapion. I am debuffed, so I'm going to farm up and then bring in Kingdra. Kingdra should be able to tank any one move here, so I am not going to give up that final shield. They go for the crunch, and then they bring in their final Pokemon, which is Trevenant. I am full sending the Outrage here, hoping they decide to let it through, but they do respect it. Kingdra trying to get to another move. This is looking tough, but my opponent decides to go for a Seed Bomb. Honestly, that is quite nice because they definitely would have been able to farm down there. And now I can bring in GOODRA. GOODRA is going to be able to absorb this Shadow Ball. Absolutely no problem. They go for the Shadow Ball. We tank it, and this can only be a Seed Bomb. So I do not need to shield here. And will try for the farm down. I get worried I might get farmed down. I bring in Escab, and they're going to be able to reach a move. I will shield in case it's a Shadow Ball. Just a Seed Bomb. Back in comes Drapion into a loaded Drill Run. This Drill Run is going to be doing massive damage, taking out the Shadow Drapion, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Escavalier into Tapu Fini, and this is the worst Pokemon that this team can see. Tapu Fini beats my entire team. So at this point, basically, I should automatically lose. I'm going to stay in here and try and play it out. Going for the Drill Run. Drill Run does get the shield, and they're going to be firing back with the Surf. I know I do survive a Surf, so I am going to let it through. Bank a Drill Run, and then bring in GOODRA. My best hope of taking out the Tapu Fini is landing a Power Whip. I will respect the Moonblast. It is the Moonblast, but then they switch out and they bring in Defense Deoxys. And this is really unfortunate. I was really hoping they would stay in so I could Power Whip them, but they bring in Defense Deoxys. Defense Deoxys goes for the Rock Slide. I farm up just shy of 100 energy, and I'm going for the Draco Meteor. Draco Meteor able to connect and does big damage onto Defense Deoxys. Unfortunately, Defense Deoxys does reach a last second Rock Slide, so I will need to commit the shield. We do have a Power Whip loaded, which is very nice, and they have Scrafty in the back. I am going to now bring in Kingdra, and we have a lot of loaded energy. We have a Drill Run on Escab and a Power Whip on GOODRA, so I'm hoping that that will be enough loaded energy to try and take out Tapu Fini. I'm going straight for the Outrage, hoping it connects, and it does! Kingdra able to farm down. Back in comes Tapu Fini, but they're going to have a tough time farming down Kingdra. Kingdra does reach an Octazooka, but they don't have to shield anything in this matchup. Octazooka, they tank it, and unfortunately, I do not get the defense drop. They go for the Surf, recognizing they were probably not going to be able to farm down without it, and they're able to farm down. I need them to shield the Drill Run on Escavalier. Drill Run, do they shield it? They do! In comes GOODRA with the Power Whip, and this game is over. Despite the Nightmare lead, able to fight back and get the win. Hopping to the final match, leading Escavalier into Shadow Nidoqueen. This is a very nice lead for Escav, and even better, they are staying in. I am going to overfarm and throw the Drill Run just as they reach the Earth Power. This, of course, will do massive damage, so I am expecting a shield, and it is a CMP tie. Last time I did get baited, so I am going to let it go, and it's the Poison Fang. That is an absolutely massive no shield, and I'm going to be able to win CMP again. So now if they want to get off an Earth Power, they will have to commit both shields, which they do. I'm expecting this is the Earth Power, so I do commit the shield, but it's another Poison Fang. At this point, they are just going straight Poison Fang in this matchup, so I am going to be letting it through. They go for yet another Poison Fang. In comes Obstagoon trying to snipe, but this Obstagoon is going to be absolutely vaporized by Megahorn. Back in comes Shadow Nidoqueen, and I'm going to bring in Kingdra. Kingdra should be able to tank any one move here. Hey, what do you know? They actually do know how to use Earth Power as they go for it. I don't want to get hit with a Fang, so I am going to be going for the Octazooka. Octazooka will take out the Shadow Nidoqueen, and in the back, it is Shadow Drapion. Drapion trying to farm down, but not before we reach it, Octazooka. If we get the debuff, we know this is game over. We do, and now we can very safely bring in GOODRA, and that is a good game. All in all, I had a ton of fun running Double Nuke GOODRA. To be honest, GOODRA is probably better suited for an Ultra Premier Cup, but since that's not available, I'm very happy that I was able to try it out in the Open Ultra League and still have some success. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.